week ago, Russia ran tactical nuclear drills, moving their nukes into firing positions near Ukraine. A few days later, they had their over-the-horizon nuclear radars destroyed. These are for the sole purpose, or primary purpose, of detecting intercontinental ballistic missiles, strategic, all-out nuclear warfare. Now, just today, the first deputy director of Russia's FSB, their Federal Security Service, has come out and accused the United States and its vassals, also known as NATO, of preparing to do nuclear strikes on their territory. Now, while these accusations are far more arcane than the Russians themselves practicing tactical nuclear drills, we have a very similar situation unfolding as to what we did in early 2022, where you had both sides accusing the other of about to make a move, and then of course one side made a move. The Russians to this day insist that they were just preempting an attack that was coming from Ukraine into the Donbass, while the majority of the world views it as Russia invaded Ukraine in an unprovoked manner. Regardless, the most important thing to consider here is that
who could have thought that this little ingredient could help balance glucose levels? Now, most people continue to take.
As we speak, we have now 3 main U.S. and it's in the firing positions, the targeting of Russia's nuclear radars by U.S. and its vassal states and its non-vassal states like Ukraine, or its vassals by some other name than NATO. And now you have these accusations being made that the Russians are aware that NATO is planning to do nuclear strikes on its territory. Now, in the last 24 hours, something remarkable has happened. All of a sudden, you have all of these European leaders, including many within the US government, calling for a lifting of the moratorium on Ukraine using their longer range weapon systems that they've been given, or medium range, I guess they'd be considered, to target deep inside Russia and allow them to neutralize the sites that the Russians are using to wage war against them. Many of these sites inside Russia are a dual purpose. So not only are they for the purpose of waging war against Ukraine, but they're also for the purpose of strategic warfare. These are home to strategic bombers, proximate to places where nuclear weapons are stored, or nuclear radars, or some aspect of their nuclear triad, which is dependent on critical infrastructure. You take out a nation's critical infrastructure and they cannot fire the nuclear weapons. That's pretty much the same thing as taking out their nuclear weapons, because of course it puts them in a very vulnerable situation. Now today, you have pretty much everybody, with the exception of, I think, Italy and Olaf Scholz, who's kind of waffling on the issue and pretending that he's not in support of this, when really he and the United States are. They're just the biggest powerhouses amongst them, so they have to be a bit more tight-lipped. It's kind of like if you run a company, and that's exactly what's happening here, as you have the UK, Sweden, France, Finland, Poland, and all the Baltic states basically not only calling for the deployment of instructors. What bullshit. If you think that they're just going there to instruct, I mean, there's already 1,000 French troops.
Hey man, this stuff is getting intense. Call Lord Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And you see it, man. You know, I'm tossing and turning, can't sleep. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, I got me some rest earlier, but you know, can't sleep really. Lord willing, I could go back because I gotta wake up in a few hours. But that's how the spirit works, man. You know, it keeps you overwhelmed, it keeps you busy, and it keeps you on your watch. And NATO and the EU has begun deployment in Russia's border with nuclear strikes capabilities. And this is all getting more intense and intense as the days go by, because this is going to fulfill the prophecy. We know the Karagim got to come. We are close. World War III is at hand. World War III is at hand. All right, let's go to Habakkuk. I'm going to get the book of Habakkuk real quick. Bear with me. All right. Salaki, bear with me. It's Habakkuk 2 and verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And every watchman, every brother that professes he's a man of the Lord, he's doing the will of the Lord, you stand on your watch. And we are reproved daily through the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and the testimony of our Lord. This is why we watch. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. That's what we have now, the prophecy, this book. That he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, man. All right? The end is speaking, and the time is being appointed for World War III. All right? Well, we're seeing World War III unfolding at its pace. But remember, everything goes according to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Everything goes according to 2 Ezra 4. Let's get that real quick. 37. By measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times. And he do not move nor stir them until the sad measures be fulfilled. Everything got to go according to plan. Everything has to go according to the prophecies and the time. It's coming. Yeah, it's tarrying, but it should surely come. So then you're going to have deterrence at times. World War III is here. But what you have are process of deterrence. You know what that word is? Let's look it up. You know, deterrence. All right, right there.
Deterrence.
The action of discouraging an action or event through instilling doubt or fear of the consequences. So this is what's going on within certain nations. Like, oh, should we make our move? Nah, let's not make our move yet. Oh my God, I heard about Russia's new submarine ICBMs. Let's stop. Oh, we heard about NATO new rocket. You know, these are all deterrents. And this is all happening because Yahweh Shem Yahushua is the perfect chess master. He's making it happen when he feels like it's going to happen, man. Let's get Sirach. Bear with me. Get a couple of scriptures. Bear with me, brothers. Sirach. All right, let's get 36 and 19. No. Sirach is 39 and 16. All the works of the Lord are exceeding good, and whatsoever he commandeth shall be accomplished in due season. In due season. Verse 32. Therefore, from the beginning I was resolved and thought upon these things and had left them in writing. Verse 33. All the works of the Lord are good, and he will give every needful thing in due season. The Lord controls this. Right? Scripture speaks about the Lord is in control. What's that? Number 4. Numbers 4. Salaki, brothers. Daniel 4. This is the matter by the decree of the watchers. The watchers are the angels, the watchers are the prophets, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men. The Lord is in control, man. All right? So it's going to happen.
Troops in Ukraine. That's pretty much, it's unofficial, but you can rest assured there's a hell of a lot of smoke. There's guaranteed to be a fire of some magnitude. You have all of them calling for the use of weapons to target deep inside Russia in unison, including Jan Stoltenberg and Joseph Borrell, the head of the EU. In addition to that, you have this U.S. policy that appears at first glance to be against the idea of Ukraine using weapons against Russia. But when you really listen to the wording of spokesperson Matthew Miller, here is what he said on the topic of Ukraine being permitted to use U.S. weapon systems inside of Russia to target Russia's nuclear facilities. Essentially, because you know that's what they're going to do, because they're trying to provoke a response. I'll get to that in just a moment. He said that our policy is that we do not encourage or allow attacks beyond Ukrainian borders.
So what NATO and the whore Babylon the Great America is doing, they're poking at the bear, man. You poking at the bear. The NATO and EU, all right, are at the Russian borders with nuclear strikes, man. All right, with nuclear capabilities. Now, they're doing their deployment. All right, so this thing is going to get heated, man. All right, let's go.
Notice what he said. Our policy is that we do not encourage or allow attacks beyond Ukrainian borders. Now, number one, Ukrainians consider Crimea to be a part of their country. That's not really the issue here. I think Russia is already resigned to the fact that Crimea is going to be a target, and clearly it's a red line that's been overstepped without things going nuclear.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Hate these commercials.
Started exercising and quit after 3 days? I have too. But then I found this app.
They're talking, of course, about Russia proper, the Russia that is undeniably Russian, outside of Crimea and the Donbass. But the wording here is that we do not encourage, okay? We do not encourage attacks. Now, they do say allow attacks, but then if they do that, it's not going to elicit the response they want. It's very difficult to say. But so that's what's going on the ground. There hasn't been a whole lot of movement in this Kharkov direction. We have Putin.
So these are the first stages, man. All right, we know this is going. We know that Ukraine is a lost war. America, you lost. Ukraine, you lost. Russia gonna take over. All right, here you go. You're fighting 3 wars. All right, Taiwan, China, Israel, Gaza, Ukraine, Russia. All right, you have no personnel. You're not going to be able to do this. This is a proxy war that's lost. It's done. The Zelensky don't care about his people. It's over. All right, so what you see right now is the NATO, the 10 horns, right, coming together to poke at the bear. And this is the beginning. The first stage is the beginning of a World War III, like really poking at the bear. And it's going to get more intense. It just got a little intense. All right? So call all Yahweh Shem Yahushua, all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I'm going to keep you posted through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Shalom.